The NFL draft is just a little over 24 hours away now, and there are potentially going to be league-wide trades happening as teams are still preparing for their draft selections. Brandon Ayuk trade rumors have been lingering, and the idea of him getting traded for a higher first-round pick could be very possible. The Chiefs are also another team that is potentially interested in trading up in the first round to draft a wide receiver. A lot of Chiefs fans are expecting the Chiefs to draft a wide receiver since they struggled all regular season last year with receiving, and now with the pending suspension of Rashee Rice, it may appear that they need to fill in some gaps and add depth to the wide receiver room. But what if they didn't even end up drafting a receiver in the first round? As we are getting closer to the draft, it was reported that the Chiefs are closing in on wanting to take offensive tackle Kingsley with a final pick of the first round on Thursday night. I'm going to be honest, when I saw this, I was a little surprised. I was surprised that there was a possibility that the Chiefs were not going to be taking a receiver in the first round or even trading up for one like a Donnie Mitchell. But the Chiefs need to continue to add depth to the offensive line, so this makes sense. They need to keep developing young players to help protect Mahomes. The Chiefs' offensive line last year was the best we've seen in a while, and it starts up front with guys like Creed Humphrey, who was drafted by the Chiefs, and Joe Thuney, who they got from New England. However, we are all aware of the constant flag issues that was occurring last year from this entire team as a whole, but mainly Jawan Taylor, who led the league in penalties with 20. Jawan was Kansas City's big offseason signing last offseason, signing him for 4 years, $80 million. And Taylor did have a great season last year, regardless of what the media likes to say about him, since he does get a lot of flags, which does need to get worked on, but he did have a 91% pass block win rate and led the league in average time to pressure with 3.69 seconds. Kingsley played at BYU and is 6'5", 326 pounds. In 2022, he gave up 0 sacks and 632 snaps on the right side, and then in 2023 moved to the left side and gave up 2 sacks and 644 snaps. He's a player that will adapt well in the Chiefs, and I can see protecting Mahomes' blind side. Jawan last season already switched positions as well, and some would say he was getting targeted by the league with all the flags, but Mahomes needs as much help when it comes to the pass rush as he can get. I mean, every quarterback does. That's one of the most important units you can develop as a team, and with the Chiefs already having a younger team, they need depth in the draft that will develop into key pieces in the future. Last year, the Chiefs took defensive end Felix Anuke with their last pick in the first round after watching wide receivers they wanted to draft like Zay Flowers get selected moments prior. He's been working out with Tamba Hali, who George Karlaftis previously did last offseason and had a breakout year, so I'm expecting Felix to improve a ton this offseason. I expect him also to become more of a piece the Chiefs use next season, as he didn't get much playing time in the regular season, but he also did see a few snaps in the Super Bowl. The Chiefs will continue to develop him and the other younger guys and new rookies coming in. The Chiefs' first round pick selection depends on a few things, because they have a few different options they can potentially go with, but it just has to make sense. I can see the Chiefs trading up in the first round only if they don't have to give up much draft compensation in this year's draft. I could also see them trading up because they've done it before. It's not something Brett Veach is shy about doing, especially if he is confident in a player. If the Chiefs trade up in the draft, it just has to make sense, as Brett Veach consistently makes smart trades and drafts really well, so if he is trading up in the draft, that means there's a ton of potential in whoever they would be signing. It could be a handful of receivers they could trade up for, but I only think they'd trade up for a Donnie Mitchell. But if they don't end up trading in the draft, I believe if Xavier Worthy is available when the Chiefs are on the clock, I believe that's who they draft in the first round. But if neither of them are available, I'd expect the Chiefs to draft an offensive tackle, possibly Kingsley. The Chiefs need to add depth to the wide receiver room, so even if they don't draft one in the first round, that doesn't mean they will go the whole draft and not pick one up. If they don't take one in the first round, they'll most likely end up signing one in the second or third, one of the early rounds for sure. The draft is a great way for all teams to add new young depth to their teams, but also make trades, so it'll be interesting to see what trades get done and all other draft news. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a video when I post new news.